Hello and welcome back to the Happy Curtain Call podcast. We are your hosts, Katie
and Nadia,
and welcome to Therapy Thursday.
So we're just gonna jump right back into the interview with Mr. Collins. I hope you enjoy it. Love you guys.
What would be your advice to incoming students?
Sorry.
What would be your advice that you would give to incoming students?
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
I feel like don't base your self-worth on how you do on a scene,
Yeah.
or how a grade impacted you, or blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Because that was my issue. Because
Yeah.
in middle school it was it just came so easy because it was middle school. It was just a big level change from middle school to.
Have respect, but don't be so scared you're gonna mess up that it psychs you out. Like I did that. I was so scared that Mr. Collins wasn't gonna like what I did that I psyched myself out and then cried like an idiot. So don't do that. don't take yourself too seriously. Don't compare yourself. It's a waste of your time and energy.
Yeah.
Sometimes let it be bad.
And I would
Sometimes it's just gonna be bad.
I would throw in, don't be afraid to mess up, right? And don't call yourselves things like idiots, right? Because it's school for a reason. You're learning.
I feel like it was also just such a big opinion. It's so different when I didn't know anyone going into APA, upperclassmen or anything. So I feel like I went in so blind. I feel like I liked it like that.
I was blind as a bat.
But also I didn't like it. I don't know. I had mixed reviews.
I had mixed reviews. It's just
no, of course.
Our grades just, we love each other in a different way.
I remember
yeah. And I
remember,
go ahead, Katie.
Doing my oh, dang it, or whatever. Cut it out.
It's fine. Mr. Collins
it's my tour guide.
I think people can find us now.
True. And tour guide, and I just loved his vibe. I don't know. And my mom loved him too. And I remember her seeing him in 42nd Street, and it was kind of embarrassing because she went up to him and said hi. She was kind of embarrassing, but
That's my mom. That's my mom. My mom. My mom. When the Mean Girls classes and the Tom Tom classes came out, she didn't care about me. She was like, "Where's me?" She was like, "Tell me what you got." It's okay.
Let me just say this. Right? If you talk to her, she didn't get into any of the shows her freshman year. Right? And then sophomore year, right, she had, a lead in the musical, a lead in the spring, the fall play, a lead in High School Musical. And so it's really all about timing, what the role is calling for, and just waiting for your moment. And I'm sure she's not going to mind that I'm talking about this, but I talked to her at the end of last year where I was like, girl, remember freshman year you didn't get into anything, and now look. And yes, it sucked, and I'm sure she was devastated in those moments, but the growth, and when it's the right time, it'll happen. And I think that that's a really hard thing for a lot of teenagers, especially we still do it as adults, but teenagers in an arts school, it's really difficult because if you don't get X, Y, and Z, it's all of a sudden a comparison, or all of a sudden, what am I doing here? I don't belong here, right? All of these spiraling thoughts. And I love to use that perfect example of, yes, it was probably really crushing, but she worked through it and then has risen to meet all of those roles. Yeah.
Ooh, what's your least favorite and favorite unit to teach?
My least favorite. Oh, I don't know. Probably. Oh my god, I'm trying to go through all of the things. Because I want to say Shakespeare, but that's not true. and I feel like that's like a cop out answer. um, Honestly, probably everything at the beginning when I'm covering all the basics, I'm like, okay, we get it. But I also understand that many people are coming without any experience, and so how important that is. And my favorite is probably Glass Menagerie and the Greek
Oh,
unit
I
at the
love the
end.
Greek unit.
Those are my
I remember
That
me.
was fun.
yeah, those are my
I
favorite.
remember that unit very fondly because I remember me and Sophia did that for showcase. I thought it was really funny because when we were doing it in class, I was the one freaking out, and then when we were doing it for showcase, Sophia was the one freaking out. And
Yeah.
I remember we both made jokes about it because remember that day where we wrote beats and stuff in our scripts, and then you wanted to see us do it. Me and Sophia remember that because you like clocked us real hard. Because neither of us were
Yes.
getting angry at all, and you were just like, "What are you all doing?" And we were like,
I did Macbeth for showcase.
Yes.
And my shirt. I did
Huh?
Macbeth for showcase.
The
The
blood.
blood shirt. Oh my god, that
Yes. Listen, I think our showcase was amazing. I really do. We pulled it together.
I remember. Oh, that was disgusting. The shirt. Oh, and it smelled like salt and vinegar because Emma put ketchup on it to make it look like blood.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
ew, it was
Oh, I
gross.
remember. My Apple Watch got lost, and it was somehow
I
in
remember
Miss room.
If there's one thing that we were, it was committed to all those things.
Yeah. I think our
We were committed
Yeah.
to everything except our introductions.
Oh, those introductions
Right.
were so bad.
Me being like, I just
Yeah,
ignored the
those-
whole thing.
No, I was.
Yeah,
fine,
those
and
are
I
always
stared-
a little-
I stared at some parrot, and then I looked back at the clock, and then forgot what I was supposed to say.
Yes.
That's it, right?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Want to say any
Final
final
thoughts?
words? You have a question? Oh,
Any
wait,
final
I have a
words for
question
me?
From the camera guy.
If you had to pick who else they should interview, like who should be the next guest or something, who would you say? Anybody, like famous, not famous, whatever. Like who would you think would be a cool guest?
Well, let me just say this, and I said this to Nadia because I couldn't find Katie that day, but I am obsessed that you guys are doing this. I listened to all of them except the last one, and at first I was like, why did they say that? But like, I totally love the vibe of it all. I love that you guys keep it real as far as like, we're students, we're teens, we're arts people. Yeah, this can suck, that can suck, but we still love it. It's like the vibe that I'm getting, which I really, really love. And so huge props to you guys, but also shade for not telling me about it until your parents
Here's the
told me
thing.
about
Here's the
it.
thing. Here's
Um,
the thing. 'Cause I knew you were gonna bring this up. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. Obviously, you're not getting paid, so we were like, "Oh, we should get money so then we can pay you after." But no, that's why. It was for the money.
What?
We were like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah,
We were just gonna do it.
right,
after.
right, which I understand. Which is why I went up to you and I was like, look, I really want to do this because I believe in it so much. And so bravo. But to answer the question from the I mean famous, literally anybody, but I think if we want to keep it theater and sort of like education-y, I think getting a new perspective from the other theater teacher who is sort of brand new to the business, but who has performed extensively before. I think Miss our principal would be a great one because she's been with the school for so long and she's seen the teacher who was there before me. Then I came in, is gone, and she's seen the trajectory of the school. I think that could be awesome. So that she could talk about the progress or the way that students have changed over the years. yeah, I'd probably go with them.
Good
You know.
choices. I don't think those are on our list. We have a really long list.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know how y'all feel about it, but an alumni,
Oh yeah.
I know so many of them, many of whom are, just got done with Broadway or on the Evan Hansen National Tour right now, or, in college about to graduate. Like so many people I know who would love to do something like this, honestly. Yeah.
We need better questions though.
Yeah, sorry, my questions suck.
I don't think
That's-
we
no.
ask you.
We didn't.
I know. And
What's
that's
your
okay
favorite color?
because we're sort of purple. But I think no, I like it though. I think it's lending itself to conversation, which is
Ooh,
awesome.
okay. I'll probably
What?
cut this out.
What
But I do want to know this. I want to know this question.
you what?
What has been your favorite grade to teach?
Oh no.
I'll cut this out.
My favorite grade is like what's 9 or 11? Is that what you're asking?
Sure.
Oh, did you mean group of students? Girl. Okay, but let me just give you my diplomatic answer. I have a special place in my heart for my first group of freshmen, my first year, because they were my first group that I got to see go through 4 years. Although when they were sophomores, COVID came, and so they came back for senior year, but they're at Kane, and so I will always have a special place in my heart for them because they were my first group of 4 that I saw through 4 years of high school, for sure. Yeah. So favorites, that honestly varies all the time on groups because everyone is so different. And like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to sort of compare them in
It's a
that
trap.
way.
It's a trap.
I didn't be like, who's your favorite student every grade?
Who's my favorite what?
Next question.
Student in every grade? Oh, God. I think that depends on who you ask. I think everyone will have a different name in mind. And so, actually, let's talk about that because every single year, there's always this sort of like trajectory of rumors that happen. And most of them aren't even true about who can get roles, who's not going to get roles, how I choose my shows, how I choose who's in the shows. And all I want to say is this. Just trust the process and trust that I know what I'm doing, okay? Because there's always something that I do that people are like, whoa, that's not what I thought was going to happen. Or, whoa, that's not what I expected, And so if there was one wish that I had, it would be to stop the rumor train in regards to anything to do with me.
Let's start it, Nadia. Let's start a protest.
The protest.
The anti-rumor train.
Anti-rumor
The
train.
rumor train.
What's the
about
song?
Mr.
What's the song that
Combs.
Colleen Ballinger did?
The Taksim gas
Oh.
train.
The gossip train? Yes.
Pass it down the track of misinformation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't believe she made that. People are not real. I know I'm not real either, so I can't. Yeah. I think that's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming or being on the podcast.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me or appeasing me when I demanded to be on.
Do you want to plug?
I'm glad it was able to happen.
Yes. Do you want to plug anything in?
Do I want to plug anything? I would say plug our TikTok, right? At APA_HQ321. I would say plug the fall show, which is The Old Man and the Old Moon, November 22nd and 23rd. Broadway night, October 22nd and 23rd. It's a Wednesday and Thursday this year. The winter production, tentatively January 10th and 11th, but might have to be changed. You're in town, March 22nd and 21, 22, 23. Yeah, we have lots of things sort of going on and happening at our school. And, I just want to sort of end off with saying that I hope that through all of the craziness that I am at school and my teaching and directing styles, that the most important thing that comes through is my belief in all of you guys and my love for what I do. Because I know that, you know, a lot of my sort of ways of communicating things gets a little, right? But I don't listen. And so I hope that through all of that, my love for you guys and what I do comes through first.
Well said.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this.
Yeah, thank you guys.
What was I gonna say? Oh,
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode with our theater teacher, Mr. Collins. Thank you also for watching. Thank you. Bye.